Observers who have closely followed events in the nascent nation which broke away from its Khartoum oppressors in 2011 are not surprised about the fault lines within the SPLM inner sanctum. This crisis, according to their views, are the pangs that were bubbling below the radar within the SPLM highest organ, the political bureau, which have come to surface.
When a movement is capturing power, it needed that kind of charismatic leader. As you may recall, when Salva Kiir was chosen, many forces within SPLM had contested his position.
But I think he also lacks the charisma. He doesn't seem to have the emotional intelligence. He doesn't seem to be having relational intelligence. I don't know much about even his cognitive intelligence, that is academic intelligence, to understand and appreciate the challenges of a modern state.
Highly placed sources in Juba told NTV that the spark of this crisis was an SPLM political bureau meeting held 3 months ago where the sacked vice president, Dr. Riek Machar, said he would contest against Kiir for the presidency in 2015.
We just decided to act faster and really catch everybody else by surprise and appearing in quotes to be whipping or cracking the whip against corruption, appearing again in quotes to be streamlining government, actually to deal with the potential opponents. Where does this take Southern Sudan? What does it mean for the ordinary folk? What does it mean for the young country?
Machar, a man with a burning ambition to become president, hails from the Nur community, the second largest ethnic group in South Sudan.
And so what are the options open to these other colleagues like Dr. Riek? I think, one, to accept and therefore play ball and go up to the national convention.
He had already been a political factor, especially at the divisive level. He seems to be a conflictual politician.
The moment Dr. Riek comes up and then Pagana Mum says, hey, you cannot go unopposed, I will be also contesting.
One of the most eloquent orators in the SPLM, Pagana Mum from the Shilluk ethnicity, can impassion and inflame. His style of politics embodies the late SPLM leader and is part of the coterie famously referred to as the Garang Boys. Beyond the threat to challenge Kiir for the presidency, the SPLM has been hostage of divergent views, pitting the Garang Boys against another group referred to as creepers who are blindly loyal to Kiir.
Those who were very close to Garang and therefore constitute an embodiment of a new Sudan, and therefore had very concrete actions, decisions, vision, mission that they thought the Southern Sudan and Sudan should move to. And of course, some of these still maintain links with this SPLM North. There are those who are regarded as Kiir boys, those who were closer to Kiir during those days, and some of these newcomers, those who deserted the war during that time and either defected to the Arabs or went to Europe or something like that, or are largely known as creepers.
Some analysts say the latest purge by Kiir was two-pronged to drop those who want to contest against him, but also to placate a disillusioned population, anchored on the promises Salva Kiir made to the weary population emerging out of decades of warfare. The economy was in shambles. A few years down the road, a sprawling Juba, the provincial capital of the south, appears to be the symbol of the much-vaunted change the SPLA promised its citizenry. To the generals, their exploits at the treacherous battlefront has come with great reward. But the city is also littered with shabby structures that accommodate the low rungs of society. To the poor, in the place of hope, lies trepidation. Whereas he may appear indecisive at times, Kiir carefully weighs his decision. By rewarding the Chief of Staff and Defense Ministry to the Nil community in the past, Kiir, who is Dinka, has kept the army at bay. The sacking of Dr. Riek Machar gives Salva Kiir a fresh opportunity to dispense patronage amongst the second largest ethnic community in South Sudan by either giving the job of Vice President to Dr. Riek Guy or John Luke. Salva Kiir may not be as inept as some of his fierce critics want to portray him. Since he assumed the mantle from the charismatic SPLM leader, the late Dr. John Garang, Kiir has been able to overcome monumental challenges, including insurgencies, offering olive branches to many warlords in the south, and managing the delicate balance of ethnicity. However, it still remains to be seen how he'll extricate himself from this crisis.